Hi, everyone. I'm Rohit. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Stilt. We provide financial services for immigrants. And today I have Sara with us. Sara is the co-founder and chief operating officer of Legalpad. Legalpad makes it faster and easier for startup founders and teams to get US work visas. And she will be helping us answer a lot of questions that are on every visa holder's mind given the current crisis. Today, we are going to discuss how H1B visa holders are getting impacted by layoffs and the various options that they have to stay in the country during this crisis. A lot of people also enroll in some day one CPT universities. What are your thoughts on that?
Yes. So I've been getting a lot of questions like this actually recently. So day one CPT, while I suppose it is technically legal, I would caution against it in most cases, in the sense that, and again, this is not legal advice, but in the sense that it could affect your green card application in the future.
Got it.
So day one CPT institutions that utilize that kind of workaround, they're actually being put under quite a bit of scrutiny by USCIS, because it is seen as a way to kind of skirt around the work visa rules that have been put in place. And so the logic behind that is, it could be a problem during your green card process, because if they deem that your time working during day one CPT was not lawful, then that could affect your ability to get the green card, because that would mean that you are in the US on unlawful status.
Got it. Okay. Another unique situation someone may be in is, let's say they recently graduated, they were working on their OPT, and now they got their H1B visa. Now they're laid off, right? So they have their H1B and they still have time on OPT left. What can someone in that type of situation do?
So this is a bit tricky, because this definitely would go into some legal territory, like legal advice territory, because it depends on the very unique situations that the people are in. So if they were laid off, the good thing is that if you're on OPT or STEM OPT, you are permitted, like you can get furloughed just fine. So it's different from the H1B. And also there are other visa types that can also be placed on furlough. So basically leave without pay for a temporary period of time, as long as this is a policy that's being implemented across the entire company. So that way it's not grounds for discrimination. That makes sense. So you are able to be furloughed, which means, you can make the case to your company as well, that that's an option that you are willing to take while you pursue perhaps not employment, but some other work on the side for OPT in particular. It would be different for other visa types. So you have some flexibility there, as long as you don't reach your unemployment day threshold, because I believe if you're in your first year of OPT, you're only allowed 90 days of unemployment. And I think we were trying to discuss this actually with our team, as whether or not furloughs don't technically count as unemployment, but it's kind of up to the government to kind of determine how they view that.
Got it. One last question. If someone in position of a layoff and now they need to figure things out quickly, what's sort of the broad, what are some of the broad things that anyone should do, irrespective of their current status, if they want to maximize their time being in the US?
Yeah, if you're here in the US on a visa, I would strongly recommend reaching out to an immigration attorney. So that way they'll be able to really see and understand what your specific circumstances are and can advise based on that. That's really the only piece of advice that we can give from an immigration perspective. And also, I would also say personally, from a founder perspective as well.
Mm-hmm.
Go out and start looking for jobs. There are companies that are hiring,
Mm-hmm.
right? And so, you can look up those resources if you want. I suppose you could reach out to us,
Mm-hmm.
the both of us, and see if there are any resources we could point
Right.
their way, because there's no shortage of that right now.
Right.
This is a tough economic time though, so I'm not going to sugarcoat everything.
Mm-hmm.
It can be difficult and it is daunting, but the best thing that you can do is take actionable steps to like speak to an attorney and
Mm-hmm.
then figure out what your plan is if you do need to leave the US.
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately, there are some people who aren't even able to go back home.
Right.
Yeah.
So that is kind of another level of problem that they have
Yeah,
to deal with, because the flights are canceled, or
that's right.
the immigration in their countries is pretty limited this time.
So,
Cool. Any last words of advice on this topic?
yeah, so we're actually hosting office hours for
Okay.
anyone who does have questions. It's just a one-on-one 20-minute session where you can maybe get some therapy, unload on what you're
Mm-hmm.
going through, and B, we may be able to kind of point you in the right direction or help you outright, right? Because we do visa services, and if for some reason like our services aren't really what's going to work for your situation, we have a huge network of immigration attorneys that we can send you to as well.
Got it. Cool. I think that's pretty much it for this session of our discussion. Thank you again, Sarah from Legalpad. And you can email Legalpad or email Sarah at sarah@legalpad.io for
Right.
any further questions.
Perfect.
Cool. Thank you very much, Sarah.
Awesome.
We'll talk
Thank
again
you.
soon.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.